So in today's video we are going to talk about these banknotes from Mauritania. So Mauritania is a country in Western Africa, and it's a largely desert country, and it issues the currency the Ugia. Now I don't even know if that's pronounced properly, and they first issued banknotes in 1973, but these banknotes that we are looking at today are from 1974. So the first banknotes are actually quite ugly, and they're also very expensive. These ones from 1974 to 2002 are the larger versions. So this is the second series, and they have come down in value quite a lot in the last few years, especially the last banknote run. So this is from 2002. So originally, when I wanted to buy Mauritanian banknotes, probably about 20 years ago, you'd be paying about $10 to $20 for one of these banknotes. So this is the lowest denomination I had in circulation, 100 Ugia, and with an exchange rate of about 250 in 2002 to $1 US. This one's equivalent to roughly about 40 US cents. Now, so here's a complicated exchange rate from 1975. I've not found a direct comparison between the euro or the US dollar and the Ugia. I found it between the franc and the CFA francs, which is 1 franc equal 200 CFA francs. 1 Ugia equaled 5 CFA francs. So if we divide 200 by 5, we got 40 Ugia. So 1 franc was equivalent to 40 Ugia, and that's in 1973. So we have 85 euro cents currently is worth 40 Ugia, and that's in 1973. And this is not factoring inflation, in which 85 euro cents in 1973 will be worth a lot more than it does these days. So we basically have 1 franc equals €1.18 in 1973. So basically for Ugia, 40 Ugias equivalent to maybe that's a bit incorrect. So 1 franc was equivalent to that anyway, so I haven't actually translated that into that. Anyway, so 1 Ugia in 1973 is equivalent to 2 cents. So that is the exchange rate. That was a little bit long. And what do we have in these banknotes? We have just a basic design. The watermark on all these banknotes is a bearded man. And we'll look at the 1000 Ugia in which he was printed on it. They have a security thread, the date, and also if you look at the serial numbers, these numbers here match up with the last 5 numbers in the serial number. So that's just more for look, instead of actually being part of the serial number, which we have it up here. And we've got basic Islamic style calligraphy, and it just says everything that's in French on the back. So 100 Ugia, Central Bank of Mauritania. And then we probably just have some threat of incarceration if you counterfeit this banknote. Okay, so what we have on the banknotes, we have some animals, buildings, and other types of things that are indigenous to Mauritania. So we have 2 ardin, and these are stringed instruments, and this one's got a bow, so used to like a violin. Then we have a cow and a Chingeti mosque in the Ardar region. So that's pretty much just different features of Mauritania. Okay, another thing is that we'll get to it in a minute. The second last banknote we have is the 200 Ugia. This is actually quite a nice banknote. I've always liked this series. And as you can see, lots of geometrical features. So you'll probably find a lot of this stuff on mosques, because Islamic mosques, they like to put patterns on it, because in a lot of Islamic faiths, putting people on buildings and that is a no-no, featuring people. So calligraphy as well as patterns are a really good feature. So that might be the top of a tower of a mosque. And on the back we have looks like a pot. That's right, that's a pestle and mortar. So obviously this is a status symbol, it looks like, with the patination, so it will be quite expensive. And here we have a canoe as well as with a water lifter, so they would actually use that for irrigation. And once again in the center we have the face. Okay, the 500 year was not issued in 1973, it was issued in 1979. And this is the last issue of 2002. And these were replaced by a new banknote series in 2004, which I've featured on another video that's before this. And once again, it's just the same features. 2002, last year of issue for this large banknote. And this one has a metallic reflecting feature, which is on current banknotes. So the earlier banknotes, you most likely will not see this. So this is on banknotes issued from 1999 to 2002. And it's also on the reduced size series as well. And we have looks like an iron ore processing plant, which is in the north of the country. And the country does do mining, and that's where it gets a lot of its income. Now, they do have agriculture of wheat. So, because most of the area is desert, a lot of the country does husbandry. But in the south on the Senegal River, they do agriculture. And a lot of the people down there, they speak different languages than the, what is it, Hassaniya Arabic that they do speak in most of Mauritania, as well as Western Sahara. And there's a see-through window. So, I don't even know, this has to be a guy, some guy. Okay, so the next two banknote series we have are unissued. Okay, so currently these banknotes you can pick up for less than $5. So the price has dropped drastically. I'm guessing is that because they changed the currency in 2017, so they revalued at 10 to 1. They had a lot of these banknotes left over, and instead of destroying them like a lot of banks, they destroy their banknotes that are left over. The government, because these are demonetized, decided to just sell them on. So the market's been flooded, so that's why these have really dropped off. And the only expensive banknote you're going to find of these series is the 5,000 a year, but it's from the second series. Okay, another one that's also flooded is two unissued 1,000 a year banknotes, and this is from 1981. And as you can see, they changed the color. The original color is this color here, bluish color. This one's red, so I don't know why they didn't issue them. And these are most likely printed in Germany. So it has a guy with the beard. That's probably why they didn't issue it, because of this image. And also has a date. So originally, when these come out, probably about a year ago, you were paying about $50 per banknote. But currently, that's crashed to about $5 per banknote, because there's just like too many of them now. And on this side, we have the same images that we have on, or same theme that we have on the 500. We have a camel in a desert. It looks like a wadi. We have a smelting plant. We have it looks like they're cutting wheat. So, and the watermark is also this, the actual guy as well. And if you look at the patterns, so this is easy to print now these days, except for you can see how it, when you run your fingers over it, a lot of this is raised. So that's a security feature as well. And basically it's quite a nice banknote. And the second one we have is also an unissued one, but this is similar to the banknote that was issued for circulation. It's dated 1989, and it's actually a lot better than the one they issued for circulation. Now, I don't have that banknote. It's just a little bit more expensive, but that banknote is, let's get an image up. So this is the issued banknote, and as you can see, has features. They're a bit different for the actual border of the watermark. Gee, I forgot my English then. Most of the calligraphy is pretty much the same. And if we look on the other side, it has different reverse than the one that was unissued. Now the major feature is the border that we see on this side and on the other side. It's actually quite a lot better than the one that was issued for circulation. Now, why they didn't issue this banknote, don't know why. Obviously there was some reason that they didn't issue it. Don't see that there's a major reason. On the other side we just have one of the ports, probably in the capital, and also we have a camel, and we also have a watermark. So there should be UV features, so that's why. Get out. Okay, so UV features. Yeah, we can see security. Small threads on this side, but this banknote. Yeah, the same. Yeah, so it looks like all the UV features are just little threads in the banknote. Okay, once again. So basically that's the UV features. Okay, so if we compare the last series of banknotes of the first gear with the so these are the third series of banknotes, this is the second series. And as you can see, they reduce the size and they change the colour, and the design is actually quite different. The only major similarity is the watermark, which is the guy. So I wouldn't even call him a mullah, but obviously the theme on the back of the banknote, they kept the same. So the same images. Here we have the 200. I like the larger, bigger one better. Actually quite nice. And then we have the boat. And the 500. It's quite a lot bigger. So you can find the dimensions of these banknotes on Numistar. So, and you can see they've changed it where they place the watermark. But even this one, it's actually quite nice. I like the center of this banknote. And here I just like the patterns on the actual banknote itself. And on the back, this is adorned with a lot more patterns. Just makes it stand out a bit more. And then we had the 1000. So just compare it to the unissued version, which is similar to the current one the one in circulation. And as you can see, this is a polymer banknote. First polymer banknote that Mauritania did issue. And the current banknotes of Mauritania are all polymer. So it's one of the few African countries that has a whole polymer series. Is there any other country? I think it's Angola or Mozambique issues polymer banknotes. But not like Vietnam or Papua New Guinea. Anyway, those are some relatively cheap banknotes that you can actually buy on the internet. So this is a lesson. You buy a banknote thinking, yeah, it's going to hold its value. And then in the future, something happened. Like in this case, there was just a whole heap. Market was just flooded. So basically, it just drove down the prices. And, well, you can get these all for $5 each pretty much these days. Anyway, hope this helped you with your banknotes and coin collecting. Let me know what you think and which is your favourite banknote. Thank you and goodbye.